Chase Young is officially a San Francisco 49er. Boy, oh boy, if you would have told me that Chase Young was going to be a 49er 3 years ago, I would have told you you're crazy. I would have said he's going to be the game record for Washington. But unfortunately, Washington, as they do, they continue to make dumb decisions. And look, I understand if you want to ship a guy like Montez Sweat or Chase Young away. Okay, fine. But why did you have to ship both of them away? It seems like Washington has just completely given up on competing in the NFL, and they're trying to tank. So I understand it from that perspective. But man, it seems like Washington, they had these good, young, talented players, and it's just a shame that they feel like they have to ship them elsewhere because they can't get their act together. But let's talk about Chase Young to the 49ers. The 49ers got Chase Young for a third-round pick. I understand Chase Young hasn't quite lived up to his draft hype. He was the second overall pick in his draft. And if you were to do a redraft, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow would go ahead of Chase Young just because of the value of the quarterback position. And we know how good Justin Herbert is. But Chase Young is a darn talented football player. I mean, this guy has all the physical traits that you look for in a pass rusher. And it seems like this season he was really starting to put it all together. This is a guy that was the defensive rookie of the year, kind of hit a rookie wall, got hurt. But this year, he's looked the part. He's looked like a top 5 draft pick. And it's a shame that Washington gave up on him so early. Maybe they weren't willing to pay him. And maybe the 49ers aren't willing to pay Chase Young. This is potentially a situation where Chase Young could be a 49er for a really long time. Or if he disappoints, the 49ers can move off of him and say, okay, we just gave him a third-round pick. But I personally think this is going to go down as an all-time great steal for the 49ers. The rich get richer. Chase Young paired next to Nick Bosa on that defensive line, boy, oh boy, that gets me excited to watch because that defense for the 49ers, led by Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, now you add Chase Young, that has the potential to be an all-time special defense. I truly firmly believe that. Chase Young and Nick Bosa are 2 second overall picks. You know, when's the last time we've seen 2 edge rushers be on the same team and they were both top 3 picks in their draft? I mean, this is incredible. I mean, the 49ers, from their perspective, they're looking at this team and they're saying, okay, let's try to build the undisputed best defense in the NFL. I know our defense is really good, but let's get even more dynamic. Let's continue to get more pass rushers in here until we get it right. It's kind of like the 49ers know what their strength is and they're leaning more into it. It's kind of like a burger restaurant saying, okay, we have all these great burgers. Let's add one more, cheesy burger to our menu. You look at the Buccaneers when Tom Brady was there, they had a ton of star wide receivers, but they said, that's not quite good enough. We're going to add Antonio Brown to the mix because we want to be even more dynamic and we want to go for that Super Bowl trophy. The Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, they said, we can score with Steph and Clay and, Draymond's good, but let's go get Kevin Durant. Let's get even better. So I truly admire franchises that want to go for it all and really are all in to win championships. And you look at the 49ers at the quarterback position, that's the biggest question. Brock Purdy, how good is he? I think the 49ers recognize Brock Purdy is still a young quarterback that's learning and trying to get better, but there potentially is a ceiling with Brock Purdy. And that's why the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey and have so many great weapons around Brock Purdy because they know what he is. He can be a guy that operates at a high level within the system, but potentially getting off script, that's where Brock Purdy can be exposed a little bit. And you look at the 49ers, they're saying, we're going to put the best possible team around Brock Purdy while he's on a rookie deal and because we know what Brock Purdy is. So we need to build as much of a good team around him as possible because we don't need to be super quarterback dependent. If we're going to be super quarterback dependent, we're setting ourselves up for failure because we know Brock Purdy probably isn't going to be Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. That's the reality, and the 49ers are okay with that. And I really, really, truly admire what the 49ers did. This is almost a near perfect situation for Chase Young. I think he's going to crush it with the 49ers with that defensive scheme. And the 49ers this season, they've been a good defense, but they haven't quite been as dominant as people thought they would. I think they were somewhere around 14th in pass rush win rate. You add Chase Young to the mix next to Nick Bosa. Who do you double team? If you double team Chase Young, Nick Bosa is going to get home. And if you double team Nick Bosa, Chase Young can win one-on-one matchups. So I think it's a match made in heaven. Chase Young to the 49ers gets me totally excited. And this could be the start of a potential all-time great career for Chase Young, because even though I believed in him in Washington, it always seems like Washington kind of never gets the most out of their star players. And if you're in San Francisco, I think they can get the most out of you. So congratulations to Chase Young. I hope he gets paid eventually. And, I think that he's going to do great things for the 49ers. And they potentially could win a Super Bowl if things break their way.